Good morning po.
Good morning po.
Okay, so today we're going to discuss module number 8. I was informed na yung class natin, after this meeting, we have 2 more meetings na lang. No? Kasi after that will be your final exam. No? So, hindi ko kayo binigyan ng midterms because kasabay na lang siya ng final exam nyo. So I have, you have 3 exams na basis for your grades. No? Yung prelim last time, then the midterm and finals. Okay, so after this module, we have module number 8. So let me share my screen. After this, we have 4 more modules to discuss. No? 4 pa yun. So, until module number 12. So we'll cover until module number 12. Okay, so do you see my screen?
Po.
May PowerPoint. So we're good, no? So don't worry, matatapos naman lahat ng modules na yan. So until module number 12. And after module number 12, we will continue the discussion next semester. Next semester will be face-to-face na palang classes. No? I was informed ni Dean this week. No? Tapos nanghingi na rin siya ng schedule. Okay? Saturday pa rin yun. So I hope you're still very interested in the subject, taxation. Okay? So are you ready? Let's start. No? Okay, so module number 8 is about French benefits. Actually, may kasama tong de minimis benefits. We will later discuss. No? So, DM standing for de minimis benefits. Okay, so we will discuss the following. So, the definition, French, tapos de minimis benefits. Then we'll discuss the FBT. So the French benefits tax, FBT, including the rate and the base. No? Etong French benefits tax or FBT, it is a sort of special tax. No? So medyo kakaiba ang transaction dito. No? So you will later see about that. No? Kaya we will cover especially yung rate niya saka yung base mismo or yung tax base. Okay? So we'll discuss the valuation of French benefits, which are a lot actually. Then we'll cover the non-taxable French benefits. Then the 11 de minimis benefits. You'll have to memorize this 11 de minimis benefits. Okay? The last part will cover the treatment for de minimis benefits if they are in excess of the ceiling, okay, prescribed by our tax rules. No? Okay, so this topic is quite short, no, but there are a lot of things na kailangan yung i-memorize sa topic nito. Okay. Okay, so pag sinabing French benefits, these are basically addition to your basic salaries. No? So this could be any good, service, or other benefit or granted, no? Furnished or granted in cash or in kind ng employer mo in addition to your basic salaries. No? So to an employee. No? Except rank and file employees. You will see later kung bakit rank and file employees ay exception dito. But I'm not saying that rank and file employees are not given French benefits. Okay, rank and file employees may also be given French benefits ng employer nila. No? You will see later kung bakit i-exempt sila, no? Yung mga rank and file. Okay, so again, French benefits are any benefits na in addition to your basic salaries. So it could be anything, no? Good service, cash, okay? So therefore, the examples are the following, no? So pwedeng housing yung ibigay sa'yo. So pag yung employer mo, binigyan ka ng free housing, no? Or pinatira ka sa isang dapat supposedly babayaran mo pero for free binigay sa'yo. So you're being given a fringe benefit. Okay, pag ganun. So the same thing pagka expense account. So for example, you're entitled to transportation allowance. Okay, you're given free vacation. Okay, travel. Yeah. So vehicle as well. Household personnel. Okay, loan which is below the market yung rate. Okay, so kung baga pinautang ka, pero instead na the usual rate yung bayaran mo na interest, okay, like given sa mga bangko, commercial rates, pero yung employer mo, pinabayaran ka lang na mas maliit na interest rate. So you're actually given French benefit in that case because nakakatipid ka sa mababang interest rate. So, ganun din if you're given membership fees, dues, and other expenses. Expenses for foreign travel, holiday and vacation expenses, educational assistance, even insurance premiums in excess of what the law allows. Okay? So, anyone who wants to receive French benefits in the future when you get employed, so I think lahat naman tayo would want that, right? Okay, so let's quit this. Okay, it's a nice thing to have, no? So may mga companies na talagang very generous, especially the multinational ones, in giving their employees this kind of benefits. Okay. So I hope it's clear on your mind what French benefits are when we talk about it. No? So we're good with the definition. I-compare lang natin ang French benefits sa compensation income. No? So ang French benefits ay in nature, these are incentives or perks. No? Okay? Pero yung compensation, this is given to compensate for your performance. So yun yung pinagkaiba ng dalawa, no? So performance-based yung compensation income while French benefits are in the form of incentives or perks. Okay? Nowadays, there are a lot of mga naiisip nila na different kinds of perks. Even sa loob ng company premises, they remodel their areas to accommodate for work-life balance culture, no, sa company. Okay? Now, let's cover naman this one, French benefits and de minimis benefits. The two are, the same benefits, pero technically magkaiba yung dalawa. When you say French benefits, again, these are in addition to your basic salaries. No? While pag de minimis, these are small value na benefits. No? Okay? Kaya siya tinawag na de minimis or minimal. No? Minimal or small value na privileges or benefits given ng employer sa kanyang employees. Okay? So, pag French benefits, anything that is in addition to your salaries. Anything, no? That is in addition to your salaries. French benefits yun. But when the value ay relatively small, then that becomes de minimis benefits. Pero you will not get confused later on dahil ang mga de minimis benefits are 11 lang yun sa rules natin. So you'll only have to memorize those 11 de minimis benefits. No? And beyond them, okay, if the benefit is given as addition to the basic salaries of employee, then that's considered as a French benefit. Okay? So why do we have to distinguish yung French benefits sa de minimis? Why do we have to remove de minimis benefits from French benefits? Okay? So ang reason ay yung taxation. Okay? Dahil ang de minimis benefits ay small in value na benefits, no, given to employees, okay, exempt sila from taxation. Okay? They're exempt from taxation. Whether ang recipient ay rank and file employees or supervisory and managerial employees. Okay? Kaya in practice, if a company would want na magbigay ng benefits to its employees without tax consequence, usually ang ine-exhaust muna nila ay yung de minimis benefits. Because de minimis benefits, whether given to rank and file employees or officers, no, managerial or supervisory level employees, they're exempt from taxation. Okay? So for me, tama lang kasi small in value lang naman to, no? And these are given usually for very petty privilege, no? So why bother taxing this kind of benefits? Okay? So ang French benefit rather ay subject to tax. Pagka given siya sa rank and file na employees, the taxation is the normal tax. And therefore, it's subject to withholding tax on compensation. We will discuss WTC, withholding tax on compensation, in a separate topic. It's in module number 12. Okay? So therefore, sa case na to, we will no longer discuss this, no? We're done with it, no? Kasi part naman yan ng compensation income ng rank and file employee, yung French benefit na yan. Kasi subject lang yan to normal tax. Okay? The normal tax is the graduated tax usually, okay? Or the individuals, no? Ang i-discuss talaga natin dito sa topic na to, class, ay rather French benefits na binigay sa managerial and supervisory employees. Okay? Dahil ito is subject not to normal tax, but rather to French benefits tax. And this is not a normal tax again. This is a special type of tax. Okay? So French benefit tax, okay, is only applicable to French benefits na provided to supervisory or managerial employees. Okay? So if you were BIR examiner, no? At sa tingin mo, yung taxpayer na to, hindi siya nagdi-declare ng French benefits tax. How do you uncover yung tax liability niya for French benefits tax? Which is you'd look into. So let's say hingin mo yung list ng employees na meron siya, di ba? So which employees would your audit be focused on? Would you focus on the rank and file or the officers ng kumpanya yun? To assess kung meron siyang liability for French benefits tax. Which one? Rank and file or officers? So remember, French benefits tax is only applicable to officers ng kumpanya, no? So you'd look into the officers ng company. So check mo kung ano yung mga benefits that are given to them that are in addition to their salaries. And if you see one, therefore, that may be subject to French benefits tax. Okay? No need to look into the rank and file because their benefits are already subject to their normal tax, which is the withholding tax on compensation. Okay? So let's talk about this part, no? Yan, ito yung i-cover natin. So, French benefits tax, no? So, of course, it's a tax on French benefits, but not to all employees, only to supervisory and managerial level employees. Okay? Now, what makes this special, itong FBT na to? Let's find out, no? So, French benefits tax is a final withholding tax, no? On employees' income. Okay? Ang liable, therefore, is the employer, okay, as the withholding agent. And it's partly remitted to BIR on a calendar basis, of course. Okay? So therefore, let's say you are the president of a certain company. Tapos you're provided with housing privileges. Let's say, pinag-rent ka sa isang high-end condominium. Okay? At ang nagbayad ay yung kumpanya mo, no? So, therefore, that's subject to French benefits tax. Okay? So, if you are that employee, that CEO or president, no? Are you liable to French benefits tax? Should you be the one doing the filing, the compliance with BIR, or is it your employer? So the answer is the employer, no? Okay? And remember, dahil final withholding tax yun, sa annual ITR mo, hindi mo na kailangan i-declare yung income dun sa French benefit na binigay sa'yo. Because that was already subjected to final withholding tax. Okay? So the burden is nasa employer. Okay? So ang hinahabol ng BIR for liability for French benefits tax ay yung employer, the company. Even ang nag-benefit ay yung employee. Okay? So the employee can just ignore any tax responsibilities kasi naka-employer yan. No? Okay? So kung may penalties man, kung hindi nag-remit yung employer, BIR will go after the employer. Okay? So, because FBT is a final withholding tax. Okay? So employer is the withholding agent, the person liable. Okay? To remit the same to BIR. Although, ang kumita, ang nag-earn ng income ng French benefit ay yung employee. Okay? Okay, so let's talk about the rate and the tax base. No? The rate and the tax base. Medyo kakaiba to. That's why this is special tax. No? Ang tinatawag na French benefits tax. Okay? Ang French benefits tax, no? Ini-impose ito sa tinatawag na grossed up monetary value. Okay? So take note of that. Okay? So I want you to internalize that, no? Internalize. French benefits tax is imposed on not the benefit given to employees, not that one, no? But rather to the grossed up monetary value. Okay? But how do you derive the grossed up monetary value. Your starting point is the benefit given to employee. Meaning the monetary value. Ito yung benefit to employee. Benefit to employee. Okay? So you start with that, no? So to arrive at the grossed up monetary value, okay, you divide the benefit given to employee by, usually, in general, 65%. Then you'll arrive at the grossed up monetary value. The reason why it's divided by 65%, because in general, the tax rate for French benefits tax is 35%. So ibig sabihin, ito ay 100%. Okay? Ito 65% to, no? So anything na you divide it by itself is 1, di ba? So ang ibig sabihin ng tax code natin, yung binigay na benefit sa iyo, net of tax na yan. So therefore, i-gross up mo muna siya. Then pag nag-gross up mo na, saka mo i-multiply ng tax rate to get the component, the tax component. Okay? So, pero sa case ng non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business, the tax rate is only 25%. So therefore, the gross up factor is 75%. Okay? So how do you answer this question? French benefit tax is computed based on what? Letter answer? Anyone? Okay. So you're all correct. So French benefits tax is computed based on the grossed up monetary value. Okay? Grossed up monetary value is the benefit given to employee and the tax component. Okay? So magkasama yung dalawa, no? Let's discuss itong part na to, no? There's a corporation na nagbigay ng French benefits. Okay? Sa kanyang employees. Sa managerial employees, ang binigay niya ay 1.3 million. This is subject to FBT. Okay? Ang binigay niya naman sa mga rank and file ay 5 million. This is not subject to FBT. Okay? Ang tanong dito ay the allowable deduction from the gross income of the corporation for the French benefit. So meaning, yung expense ng corporation. Ang total nito ay 6.3 million, di ba? Pero, kung ikaw yung corporation, magkano ang expense mo? Did you pay 6.3 million only? Or you paid more than that? To form part of your expense. Okay? So definitely 6.3 million expense mo yan, di ba? But in addition to that, dahil ang 1.3 binigay mo sa managerial employees, magbabayad ka rin dito ng FBT. So ang expense mo, hindi lang itong dalawa, kundi pati itong FBT. So we need to compute for the FBT. And add that FBT to 6.3 million, okay, to compute your expense. So let's compute FBT. So in general, paano kino-compute yung FBT? Okay, so ito na yung dalawa mong expense. Compensation, tapos yung French benefits expense na 1.3 million. So what do? You gross up the 1.3 million by dividing it by 0.65. Okay? Then to compute for FBT, you multiply it by 35% or 0.35. So I hope you get 700,000. No? So all in all, if you are the company, ang total expense mo is not only the 6.3 million, but in addition, the 700,000 for a total of 7 million. So the answer is letter D for Delta. Okay? The reason for that is because you shoulder the tax kung ikaw yung employer. No? Kasi di ba, remember that you're the one liable for French benefits tax as the employer. No? Okay? So that's the journal entry when you record this in the accounting books. Okay? So lahat to allowable deduction. Okay? So ina-allow ng tax code natin na deductible ito. Hindi lang itong 6.3. So FBT is an allowable deduction. We'll discuss allowable deductions separately. Mahabang topic yan. And that needs careful study. Kasi sa taxation natin, hindi porket may expense ka, you are entitled for allowable deduction. Okay? Okay, so valuation. Let's talk about valuation. Pag cash ang binigay, therefore, whatever is the amount paid, that's the valuation. Pagka in kind or property ang binigay, the fair market value. Unless the book value is higher. No? Pero kung pinagamit lang yung property, hindi talaga binigay, 50% lang yung valuation ng rental value. Kung walang rental value, 50% ng depreciation. So memorize. How do you value the French benefits given? So kung cash, whatever is the amount paid. Pag property, the fair market value. Otherwise, book value if higher. Pero pag free use lang, hindi talaga binigay yung property, just take the half of the rental value. Kung wala siyang rental value, half ng depreciation value. Pag nagde-depreciate ng depreciable property, ang presumption or assumption sa useful life, pag real property, that's 20 years. Okay? Or 1/20 every year, 5% ng value. Pero syempre, kung free use lang yan, kalahati pa. 50% ng 5% is 2.5%. No? Pero kung movable yung property, that's just 5 years. Or 1/5 every year, 20% of value. Or kalahati, syempre, that is 10% kung free use lang. No? So, does it matter, class? Does it matter kung binigay na or pinagamit lang ang French benefit? The answer is yes. Kasi kung binigay na, the fair market value of the property is the valuation. The entirety. Not the entirety. But kung pinagamit, it's just 50%. Okay? The 50%. Merong specific regulations dito at I think nasa libro nyo naman to and nasa slide din naman natin. Particularly on housing. No? Housing. Okay? Privilege. No? Yung lease ng residential property for the residential use no, ng employee. So, ang market value, monetary value rather, 50% ng lease payment. Okay? So, kalahati. No, kasi use lang naman. Okay, assignment of residential property owned by employer. for use, no? For use. Yan. So 5%. Ito yun, yung 5% kanina. Kasi real property yan. So 5%. Okay, dahil real property, fair market value, or zonal value, whichever is higher. No? Okay? So, then dahil use lang, hindi naman binigay talaga yung property itself, the valuation is only 50%. Kasi ang nag-benefit dyan, hindi lang naman yung employee, but also the employer. Pero ang taxable lang yung portion na benefit ng employee. Okay? Purchase of residential property in installment basis for the use ng employee. So 5% acquisition cost multiply, exclusive of interest, then 50% ulit kasi use lang ulit. Number 4, binili ang residential property at ang ownership is transferred in the name of the employee. So dito, fair market value or zonal value, whichever is higher. Okay? So, you don't take 50% kasi binigay na ang property itself. Okay? Hindi naman used lang siya kaya walang 50%. Okay, number 5, purchase of residential property and transfer of ownership to employee at a lesser amount. So kung anong fair market value, whichever is higher, less cost to the employee. Kunwari, ang fair market value, 10 million. Binili mo lang for 8 million. So the 2 million na hindi mo binayaran is presumed as French benefit. So you gross it up, then you multiply by the tax rate for the French benefits tax. Okay? That's the valuation for housing. So let's discuss etong point na to. Now there's a company that owns a condominium unit. That's a residential property subject to depreciation. During 2020, it allowed its CEO to use the property as his residence. The zonal value of the property is 10 million, while yung kanyang fair market value, as shown sa RPT declaration, amounts to 8 million. So burahin natin to. This one shall be used, the 10 million, because the rule is whichever is higher. Okay. So, okay. Okay, the question here is, how much yung French benefit expense? How much yung French benefit expense? Anyone na may answer? Kung ikaw yung company, anong binigay mo dun sa employee mo? Actually, wala kang binigay sa kanya kung tutuusin. Kasi pinagamit mo lang sa kanya yung property mo. Yes, that is subject to French benefit tax. Kasi ang pinagbigyan mo ng benefit ay an officer, a CEO, that is subject to FBT, di ba? So, subject to FBT yun. Pero kung tutusin, wala ka talagang binigay sa kanya na ang pinagamit mo lang yung property mo, right? Meron kang expense dun sa property, but your expense dun sa property is in the form of depreciation. Ang expense mo dito, depreciation expense and French benefits tax. Ulitin ko, ang expense mo dito, depreciation and French benefit tax doon sa depreciation. Pero, the French benefit expense, the answer is 0. What you have is French benefits tax on depreciation. So, wala talagang French benefits expense. Kasi ang meron ay depreciation expense dun sa property. Okay? Yan, no? So the answer is 0, no? Pero how do you compute for this one? Based on the preceding question, how much is the quarterly French benefit expense? French benefit expense. So, paano computation? Pag depreciable na real property, ilang percent? 1/20 years, di ba? So that's 5%. Pero dahil use lang ang binigay mo, so that's 5%, pero dahil use lang ang binigay mo sa employee mo, you take half lang, di ba? So 50% ng 5% ay 2.5%. Okay? Then the higher is the 10 million. So the monetary value is 250,000. We gross that up, 65%, then that's 384,616. So we multiply by 35%. So we get the annual French benefits tax. So divide by 4 since the question is quarterly. No? Therefore, the quarterly FBT is 33,654. What's your journal entry for 33,654? What's your journal entry? So, syempre you debit French benefits tax. Then you credit cash or payable kung hindi pa bayad. No? Then for the depreciation, you debit depreciation, you credit accumulated depreciation. Kung magkano man yung amount for accounting purposes. But there's no account na ang title ay French benefit expense. Because ang meron ka, depreciation expense and French benefit tax. Okay? Yeah, no? Let's answer the next question. Using the same data and assuming that the cost ng property ay 7 million. Tapos ang remaining useful life niya ay 15 years. How much ang French benefit? Kanina 0 ito, di ba? Ang assumption natin, yung cost niya ay 10 million din. Pero paano kung yung cost pala ay 7 million lang? So remember, pag ganito ang situation, na ang cost pala ay mababa, pero ang valuation mo, whichever is higher, doon sa sobra, may benefit doon. So therefore, so to compute that, ang sobra ay 3 million, no? Kasi ang valuation mo ay whichever is higher, di ba? Between the market value and the zonal value. So you divide this by 15 years, that's the useful life. So the French benefit expense ay 200,000. So answer is letter C. Technically speaking, that's the situation there. That's also subject to FBT. Okay, so non-taxable housing French benefit. Let's talk about this. So yung housing sa mga armies, Navy, Air Force, non-taxable yun. A housing unit which is situated inside or adjacent to the premises of a business or factory for a maximum of 50 meters. So temporary housing for employee who stays in a housing unit for 3 months or less. Yan, mga non-taxable to. Dito pumapasok yung convenience rule ng employer. So being that's the case, it's not taxable to the employee kasi it's not really an income of employee. Dahil it's for the convenience ng employer. Okay? Valuation ng motor vehicle. So pag binili in the name of the employee, whatever is the acquisition cost. Pag cash yung binigay, tapos yung employee, siya nang bibili, in his own name, yung cash ang valuation. Pero kung on installment, sa name ng employee, acquisition cost exclusive of interest divided by 5 years. Employee shoulders part ng purchase price. Okay? Tapos ownership, nasa pangalan ng employee. Yung amount shouldered mo lang. However, if you own it as the employer, so tapos for use lang ng employee mo, so over 5 years, then take the half. Kasi for use lang. No? Okay? So, employer leases and maintains a fleet for the use ng business ng employer, tapos kalahati sa employee, 50% ng rental. So, tandaan nyo, basta pinagamit lang, hindi talaga binigay entirely, ang valuation lang is 50% because pag pinagamit lang, ang rule kasi doon, ang assumption, ang nag-benefit, both the employer and the employee. So ang taxable lang naman yung employee. So only 50% therefore yung taxable. Okay? Use of aircraft and helicopters. Okay? Owned and maintained by employer shall be treated as business use. No? And therefore not subject to FBT. Now, I don't know any rationale for this one, pero this is the rule, no? So, for me, dapat nga i-tax din to, no? Pero that's not the case. So, aircraft and helicopters. Okay? But what I can think of lang is the lobbying na nangyari siguro dyan during the crafting ng rules. Okay? Because you know how these people are, very influential, no? And maybe there was something that happened. No? Okay, aircraft and so walang tax dito. Business use daw yan. Okay? Okay? Pero pag yate or yacht, no? Yes, it's taxable for French benefit. Okay? The valuation is the same. 20 years yung kanyang useful life. The same as real property, rather. No? So, yung kakaiba lang yung aircraft and helicopters. Okay. Let's discuss number 4. No? Ito magandang question. A bank paid for the quarterly rental of a residential house of its branch manager. So manager, so subject to FBT and therefore amounting to 90,000. The question is, first one, how much yung French benefit expense? Anyone? Magkano ang French benefit expense? Be careful with the question. If the question is French benefit expense or French benefits tax. Magkaiba yun, no? French benefits expense versus French benefits tax. So, okay, let's find out what's the answer. Anyone else? Letter C, okay. French benefit expense is letter C. So you're all correct, okay? So that's 90,000. Ito mismo. So what's your journal entry for the amount paid na 90,000? So syempre credit cash ka muna, di ba? Para madali. No? Credit cash, 90,000. So the debit is French benefit expense. 90,000. That's French benefit expense. Separate naman na account title yung French benefits tax. Okay? So ang meron dito, rental. Okay, pag rental, anong valuation? Sino ba nag-benefit pag rental? Kasi hindi naman binigay yung ownership, di ba? For use lang to eh. Kasi rental lang. No? What's our valuation if it is rental? We take the half. No? So therefore, that's 45,000. So you gross it up. So gross up monetary value, then you multiply by 35%. The answer is letter A. It's 24,231. Okay? Sundan naman siya, no? So I'll give you naman the answers, no? Yung handouts na merong answers, okay? So this is the journal entry, all in all, no? Compounded. Okay, French benefits not subject to French benefits tax. Okay, if it is not considered as gross income. For example, it's required for business or convenience of employer. Okay, if it is exempt from gross income, so like this, SSS, GSIS contributions. Given to rank and file employees. So remember, pag rank and file, hindi sila subject to FBT. Even if they were given French benefits. Okay? Another one that is not subject is de minimis. Okay? Now, expenses for foreign travel. Itong mga to, food allowance, $300 per day, lodging, airfare, they're not subject. Ang subject lang ay yung airfare na first class ticket. Okay, so 30% ng cost is subject to FBT. Otherwise, hindi talaga subject. Kasi travel naman is business purpose yan, yung tinutukoy dito. Generally, business travel is for the convenience of the employer. So it's not for the benefit of the employee. Official business yan. Not subject to FBT. Except for the first class ticket. First class kasi is higher than business class yan. Okay, so 30% is subject to FBT. Okay? Hindi entirely, only 30%. Okay? Now, cost of an educational assistance to employee or dependents. So, kunwari, you're an employee, tapos your children are given benefit for educational assistance. So in general, subject yan to FBT. Except na lang kung connected sa business, you are required to remain employed and under competitive scholarship program. Okay? So it's not subject, therefore, to FBT. But in general, it is. No? So question number 5. A leading manufacturing firm in the country provides educational assistance to all of its employees, dependents, provided the latter qualifies in the entrance examination given by the school of their choice. The educational assistance is or subject to what? So binigay sa lahat ng employees, no? Dependents. The answer here is letter A. Subject to basic income tax or French benefits tax, depending on the rank and file, the rank of the related employee. Kung rank and file lang, therefore normal tax lang yan, basic. Otherwise, kung officers, then French benefits tax. Interest on loan at less than market rate. If the employee loan is free of interest or lower than 12%, the difference of 12% shall be treated as a French benefit. Correct, no? Pinaloan ka ng employer mo ng 1 million pesos. Tapos ang pinabayad lang sa'yo na interest ay 5% per annum. Okay? 5% per annum. Okay? 5% minus 12%. So 7%. That differential rate is subject to FBT. Okay? That is subject to FBT. Dahil nakatipid ka raw ng interest dyan. And therefore, nag-benefit ka, so you earned an income, so subject to FBT. Now, let's talk about the de minimis benefits. The 11 items. No? Number 1, monetized. Kinonvert sa pera. Yeah, kinonvert sa pera. Yung hindi nagamit na vacation leave credits ng private employees, pero not exceeding 10 days during the year. So you're given, for example, in a year, 12 vacation leave credits. Ang nagamit mo lang 4. At year-end, yung 8, instead na mag-expire lang, binabayaran na lang ng employer sa'yo. So yung 8 na yun, okay, taxable pa ba yun? Pag binayaran ka dun sa 8 na hindi mo nagamit na vacation leave. Is it taxable or not? Okay, so the answer is no. Because de minimis yun. And regardless whom it is paid, rank and file employee or officer of the company, that is exempt from tax. And when I say exempt from tax, I'm saying it is exempt not only to FBT, but also to the normal tax. Okay? So, should it form part of your compensation income at all? Yes or no? So, the answer is no. It will not form part of your compensation income. Kaya in practice, in reality, if companies would want to increase the take-home pay of their employees without the employees suffering or burdening them of tax obligation, ang unang binibigay ang mga de minimis benefits. Because de minimis benefits are not subject to tax. Whatever tax, no? It's not subject at all. Whether normal tax or FB. Okay? So monetized value of vacation and sick leave credits paid to government officials and employees. Okay? Medical cash allowance to dependents of employees not exceeding 1,500 per semester or 250 per month. Okay? Rice subsidy of 2,000 pesos or one sack of 50 kilos ng rice, amounting to not more than 2,000. Uniform and clothing allowance, not exceeding 6,000 per year. Okay. Actual yearly medical benefits, not exceeding 10,000. Laundry allowance, not exceeding 300 pesos per month. Employees Achievement Awards. Yan. So these are the examples which must be given in the form of a tangible personal property other than cash or gift certificate. Personal property. Not exceeding 10,000. Okay? So yeah. So gifts given during Christmas and major anniversary celebrations, not exceeding 5,000 per employee per month. Daily meal allowance for overtime work, night graveyard shift, not exceeding 25% of the basic minimum wage on a per region basis. Lastly, benefits received by an employee by virtue of collective bargaining agreement and productivity incentive schemes, provided that the total monetary value, do not exceed 10,000 per year. Okay? Now, what do you do? Kasi yung mga ceiling na nabanggit ko, puro exempt yun, di ba? So, paano pag sobra? No? So, let's say kanina, hindi mo nagamit 12 vacation leave credits. Eh, yung de minimis lang, up to 10 lang, di ba? So, what do you do with the additional 2 days na binayaran sa'yo na hindi mo nagamit na vacation leave? If you were the employer, no? Binayad mo yun. So, here's what you do. So, since number 1 yun, the excess shall form part ng 10,000, 90,000 rather, exemption. Remember yung 90,000, yung 13th month pay and other benefits? So magpo-form part siya dun sa 90. Pag hindi pa rin na-exceed yung 90, then exempt pa rin. Pag na-exceed lang yung 90,000, saka lang magiging taxable. Okay? Pero for the number 11, yung sa collective bargaining agreement, the entire amount, okay, forms part of the 90,000. Okay? As other benefits. Okay, so let's tackle yung number 6 para ma-apply nyo yung diniscuss na. Question, the first one. Taxable compensation income. Subject to graduated rates. Take note that the employee here is a manager. Ang salaries daw niya, 785,000. Net na daw yan ng SSS, PhilHealth contributions amounting to 25,000. Correct lang na naka-net na tong 25,000. Okay, dun sa 785. Pero nakabawas na rin daw ang withholding tax na 150,000. Yan, dapat i-add back yan. Kasi your income is of course before the withholding tax. Okay? So, that's 935,000. Ang sagot ay letter C. So based on the above problem, the French benefit tax is, okay, tingnan natin. Ito walang French benefits dito. This is subject to basic tax compensation. Binigyan din daw siya ng allowance at hindi subject to liquidation. 60,000. Expense account yan. No? So therefore, ang subject yan to French benefits tax. So gross up mo muna, then multiply by 35%. Ang sagot, 32,308. Ito hindi to income ng employee kasi this is subject to liquidation. Expense yan ng employer. 13th month pay of 80,000 is exempt. Why? Up to how much yung exempt for the 13th month pay and other benefits? Up to 90,000. So 80,000 is totally exempt. Okay. This one is business expense, no? Hindi siya employee expense. Kasi subject again to liquidation. May mga resibo yan, no? At lumalabas, hindi siya transaction ng employee. Okay? So the answer is delta. Do you see my screen, class? Kita ba?
Yes po.
So these are the remaining topics that we're going to discuss. No? Mga to, no? Merong certain part dyan sa book nyo if you get the copy of the book. But we'll discuss it next semester, yung mga tax remedies, yung assessment ng BIR, next semester yan. Okay? You should learn first what the taxes are before we'll discuss that. Okay? Yung assessment process. Okay? So, next semester yan. The next module, still have some few minutes. No? Module number 9, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyong we'll discuss separately from time to time. yung dealings in property. Okay, so we're going to discuss the income therefrom. Income from dealings in property. Pahapyawan lang natin kasi alam ko medyo heavy na rin yung first discussion. Okay? So, definition and tax treatment, types of properties, valuation of real property, and stocks, types of gains from dealings in property, tax-free exchanges, net capital loss carryover, okay, sale of principal residence, transfer for insufficient consideration. Okay, no? So income from dealings in property. Dealings in property. Wait lang. Are we talking about business transaction dito or not? Well, principally, hindi ito yung ordinary na course ng business. Kasi pag ordinary na course of business, business income yun. No? So dito, may business ka for example, pero may property ka na hindi yun yung inventory mo na binenta mo. Or maybe meron kang hindi ginagamit ng property, tapos binenta mo. No? So may income doon. So you have dealings in property. Yun yung kino-cover dito. Okay? That kind of transaction, dealings in property, such as sales or exchanges, may result in gain or loss. So it could result in gain or loss. No? The kind of, so therefore, kung may gain or loss yan, may tax yan. Okay? The kind of property involved, whether the property is capital or ordinary asset, no? Determines the tax implication and income tax treatment. Okay? So for example, as an individual, no? You are employed. Tapos meron kang minana na property. Okay? So during the year, nabenta mo yung property na yun. For a gain, no? For a gain. So given the situation, what income did you earn during the year? Anong tawag sa mga income na earn mo during the year dun sa situation na binigay ko? First, as an employee, you earn compensation income. And you know that it is subject to normal tax. Diba? Normal tax. Graduated. Okay? Kung binigyan ka naman ng French benefit, tapos ikaw ay officer of the company, so you earned that income as well, pero wala kang tax liability dyan. Dahil subject yan to FBT. And the one liable for that is your employer. Okay? What do you call the income that you earn dun sa nabenta mong property? So ang tawag dun, income from dealings in property. Okay? Let's say you're a business naman, you're a corporation. So may binebenta kang inventory. So may sales ka, may cost of sales. Okay? So meron kang gross income, di ba? Meron kang deposit sa banko which you earn interest. So that's a passive income, di ba? Tapos meron ka namang PPE, item, no, or property. That's not your inventory. So binenta mo siya, may gain ka doon. That's income from dealings in property. Meron kang idle na lupa. It is called investment property, or may investment ka sa stocks, no? Upon disposal, meron kang income from dealings in property. Okay? So, ano ang tax treatment ng mga yon, no? Okay, so here's the rule. Ang taxable net income mo, your ordinary net income, okay, plus your net capital gains, other than those subject to final CGT, final capital gains tax. Okay, so that's the tax treatment. So you'll have to learn which of these capital gains are subject to final CGT. So you learn that in this module. No? Kasi pag na-final na yon, then it's no longer part of your taxable net income. Pag hindi pa na subject, kasama yan sa net capital gains mo, together with your ordinary net income. So they'll form part of your taxable net income. Ang isa mo pang kailangan matutunan dito, class, ay you should know what's ordinary and what's capital asset. And therefore, you'll know kung ano yung ordinary income or loss, no? At saka yung capital gain or loss. Okay? Ito yung rules actually, no? But we'll not discuss this. Summary na kasi to. Go back to this summary after we finish the module. Okay? So question, is it important to determine if an income ay ordinary income or capital income? So do we distinguish ordinary and capital income? Do we need to distinguish ordinary and capital income? Yes or no? The answer is yes, because the tax treatment depends on that. And how do you know if the transaction is ordinary income ang lalabas or capital income? How do you know kung ordinary income yan or capital income? The answer is, it depends on the type of asset. Kung ordinary asset yan, ang lalabas, ordinary gain or loss sa transaction. Otherwise, kung capital asset yan, ordinary capital gain or loss din yung ang result, no? At pwede siyang subject to capital gains tax. Kung tinatawag natin na capital gains tax, ay applicable lang yan sa capital assets, hindi sa ordinary assets. So it is a must, 100% must, that you are able to tell whether the asset is ordinary or capital. This is where the confusion becomes really a challenge to overcome in reality. Pati sa mga taxpayer, dito sila litong-lito. Ano ba, subject ba to capital gains tax or not? So it depends kasi kung yung asset ay ordinary or capital asset. Okay? So it's a must that you can easily tell if it is ordinary or capital asset. At madali lang naman, okay? Certain rules define them, okay? So ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, class. The properties, the types of properties for tax purposes could be ordinary or capital assets. Ito yung general rule. Pagka ginagamit mo yan sa ordinary course ng business mo, not necessarily ordinary, not necessarily ordinary. Basta part siya ng course mo of business, course of trade or business. Even if it is not ordinary actually. Basta part ng course of business mo. Ordinary asset. Capital asset is other than that. So what do you have to memorize? Memorize kung ano yung mga ordinary asset. And if an asset does not fall within that definition, that is a capital asset. So anong rule of thumb that you have to memorize? So that you can easily tell which asset is ordinary, which is capital asset. Pag connected sa trade or business. The word I used is connected, no? Because it need not be your primary asset not for sale in the ordinary course of your business. As long as it is connected to the course of your business, that's ordinary. Okay? So these are the examples. Stock in trade, property included as inventory, merchandise inventory, depreciable assets used in trade or business. Katulad nito, hindi naman to inventory. Anong classification mo nito sa financial accounting nyo? You call them property, plant, and equipment. Diba? Pero ordinary asset ang PPE dahil they are used in trade or business. Real property used in trade or business. Okay? Capital asset. Stocks and securities held by taxpayers other than dealers in securities. Kasi pag dealer ka, therefore, yung mga stocks na yun, ordinary assets niya. Interest in partnership and joint venture. Goodwill, real property na hindi ginagamit sa trade or business like residential house and lot. Investment property. Okay? Personal or non-business property such as family car, home appliances, jewelry. Okay? So examples of ordinary assets, real property, kasi ang negosyo, real estate. Real property used in business, although non-real estate yung business. Ordinary pa rin kasi used in business. No? Real property, non-real estate business but habitually engaged in real estate business. Merong at least 6 taxable real estate transactions during the preceding year. Securities, dealer in securities. Okay, so the term capital assets includes. So what's your answer to the first question? Ano ang capital asset dito? Okay, so very good. No? Letter B. not used in business. So ang rule lang natin, alamin mo lang yung mga ordinary assets. Okay? At ang key lang naman dyan, kung connected sa course of business. If yes, if it is your inventory, your PPE, basta yan yung negosyo mo. Basta connected dyan. Ordinary asset yan. Other than that, therefore, capital assets. Okay, so these are the examples. Those are the examples kanina. Wait lang. Okay, so hanggang doon lang actually yung discussion natin today. Okay. Before we end, sige, let's take a picture na pala. We will cover na lang the rest next meeting.